In short, it's better for you to fail that assignment than to plagiarize. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you for coming back. If this is your first time of seeing my face, my name is Agoziem. I'm an international student living in Canada. On this channel, I share content about moving to Canada, life as an international student, all those good stuff, and how to settle in smoothly as an international student in Canada. If this is the kind of content you're looking for, please do consider subscribing and you are not going to regret it. Thank you for coming back and thank you for stopping by. Let me tell you guys something. Do you know it's totally free to subscribe? Yes, it is. Just click on that subscribe button you see below. Just click on it now and you are not going to regret it. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys things international students struggle with in Canada. The struggle is real, honestly. Like, I know that you guys want to see the whole glam, taking nice pictures on Instagram and all that good stuff. Honestly, behind the whole glam, there are lots of things we international students struggle with, we don't really talk about. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about it. Let me tell you guys something, a quick disclaimer here. Yeah, I'm not making this video to scare anybody. I just want everybody to be prepared. If anybody told me that I'm going to be struggling with these things as an international student before I came in to study here, I think I would have been much more prepared, like prepared my mind more. So this is me, like from me to you, I feel like I'm very I'm eligible, if I do say so myself, to share this with you guys, because I just finished my first year in nursing school and I feel like sharing these things with you guys is coming from the right place and from the right source. So sit down and enjoy this video, okay? The first thing international students struggle with is depression. I know. See, depression is not really talked about so much. Like, depression is real. The source of your depression may not really come from you not having money, or not really come from, you can have thousands of dollars in your account and still be depressed. Yes, especially in winter. This is something that is not really talked about. Depression is real. Yes, I've gone through that phase of depression, and my own depression came from when I landed. When I landed, my school had already, my classes had already started. Like, I came 3 weeks plus late. And when I came, I already had like backlogs of assignments, I already have 2 anatomy exams I missed. So when I came, I had like 3 days to prepare for the first exam in my anatomy 1. So it was so fast for me, and I had instructors telling me, oh, you need to meet up, you need to catch up, because they weren't sure I was going to pass. They didn't even want me to come in as of the time I told them, okay, I'm going to come in and start. So that was very, very depressing for me, juggling all those things, and also having that fear. Okay, your family has already paid so much for you to be here. That fear of failing. Yes, I was so scared of failing. I was so scared of disappointing my siblings. I was so scared of disappointing my parents. I was so scared of disappointing myself. It was so overwhelming for me. So that got me depressed. Another time I was depressed was during the winter season. I was so depressed, I think because there wasn't really much sun, and vitamin D plays so much role in your mood and all that stuff. So there was no sun, and the mistake I made was that I forgot to take vitamin D during winter. Please, I advise you, please, during winter, right? In short, if you're coming from Nigeria, make sure you come with vitamin D, because it's very, very important. Another thing that caused me depression was money. Yes, there was a time I had a financial difficulty, and yes, it was depressing. So these were the 3 sources of my depression when they came, and I'm so happy I was able to crawl out of the depression like a queen that I am. So let me tell you guys something, how to deal with depression when you come here. Please make sure you always talk to your family members, because one of the incidents of my own depression, I really cut everybody off. I wasn't talking to any member of my family. I was just on my own. So please always make sure you keep in contact with your family, with your friends, the people that you really love talking to. It will go a very long way for you when you come to this country, because depression is real. Sorry, I really talked about depression so much because it came from a place of experience. Like, I've experienced it like 3 or 4 times, during my stay in this country. So that was, I really had to like hammer on it a lot. The second thing international students struggle with is loads of assignments. You know, back in Nigeria or back home, if you're coming from Africa, I don't know the country you're coming from, but I'm from Nigeria and I'm comparing what it was back home to what it is here for me. So back home, we didn't really have a lot of assignments. In short, back home, a lot of our lecturers in school did not really pay so much attention to assignments, okay? But here they pay, in short, your most of the time your assignments contribute 30% to your total mark. So here assignment is taken really seriously, and if you miss the deadline, you miss marks, okay? So when, especially assignments like research paper, like if you have a research paper to write, they give you like an ample time, yes, but sometimes we get overwhelmed with working, studying other courses, because it's not just that one class you are taking. Mind you, if you're taking like 5 classes, you have like, let's say 10 assignments in these 5 classes. Do you understand? And you have a very short, you have an ample time to do them, but when you put all these assignments together, it can be very overwhelming, honestly. So assignment is one thing international students struggle with. Now here is the hack. If you don't want to be choked with assignments, make sure the moment you see your schedule, have a calendar. I mean, I have a whiteboard in my living room. I write out all the due dates for these assignments and I start tackling them one after the other, okay? In this way, you will not be choked. You will not be choked. You will not be like, oh my God. You will not be asking your instructors for extra to give you an extension, because there's when you ask for extension too much, they will be like, what is going on with you? So I'm not saying you should not ask for extension, but don't abuse it, okay? Don't abuse that privilege unless you are sick, or unless something is going on with you. Make sure you're open with your instructors or with your lecturers and they will give you an extension. But if you don't necessarily need an extension, just make sure you manage your time so well, okay? So you don't have to struggle with submitting your assignments. Another thing international students struggle with is APA. APA, I'm going to put the meaning of APA on the screen. It's a referencing method, all right? How to reference. Yeah, that is what APA is all about. When you do your research paper, this also goes to master's students, PhD students. If you're coming here to do all those higher levels of education, make sure you know how to reference. Make sure you know how to structure your reference well, all right? APA style wasn't really a problem for me because I already went to university before I came here to do nursing. So I did my project in school, and in my first year, we did a lot of 10 papers in my first year in uni back in Nigeria. So it wasn't really a problem for me. I realized that it's a problem for some international students. Like I have like 2 international students in my class, and one of them, like, it was really a problem for her. So even if you miss watching a video, like, APA is a thing here and it's taken seriously. The next thing on my list that international students struggle with is plagiarism. Let me tell you guys something. Do not plagiarize. In short, it's better for you to fail that assignment than to plagiarize. Plagiarism is when you copy someone's work, or when you take someone's work without referencing them, without giving them the credits. Like, you just go and take, maybe an author named A wrote A in their book, they wrote Obi is a boy. Now you leave that sentence and put it in your work and say Obi is a boy without referencing that particular sentence. Like, where did you get that particular sentence from? You have to reference them, okay? If you don't, you've plagiarized. And if your work is gone through and they find out you've plagiarized, or you copy someone's work verbatim without giving them the person that credit, you are in big soup. You know, back home, back in Nigeria, this is not to bring Nigeria a bad name or anything. Actually, like, escape the punishment of plagiarism. Your lecturers may not really have that time to like go through, especially in public universities. Your lecturer may not really have time to go through your work. If our lecturers back home know that there's a platform they can put the work, so they can, know whether these students plagiarized or not. But here they have all those things here. So when you bring your work, they put it on that platform and see whether you plagiarized or not. Now, this is a way to escape plagiarism. Maybe you copied, maybe you took something and you forgot to reference it. Now here, this is what I do when I write my papers. When I write my papers, I use Grammarly. I take my work and I put it on Grammarly. So Grammarly tells me if there's any form of plagiarism in my work or not. So when you come here, try and use Grammarly. And there are also like lots of platforms you can use. when you write your research work. So make sure you just find out about it and use it to avoid plagiarism. A quick story here. Last semester we wrote this care plan and another like big research paper like that was up to like 35% of our total mark, just one assignment. Two of these students plagiarized and they were kicked out of the program. So please run away from plagiarism, because it's going to, how can you spend all that thousands of dollars and come here plagiarize and they will kick you out of the program? Please think about it. It is not wise at all. The next thing international students struggle with is buying books. Yes, especially if you're going to do nursing, medicine, all those big guys, like all those big courses. The books are not cheap. So as an international student, you're struggling with paying your house rent with your earnings, you're concentrating to study, you're struggling with a lot of things. Okay, now books is one of the things you struggle with, especially if you really need that book. Like as a nursing student, you need books to be able to get the knowledge. Yeah, they are teaching you in school, but you still need books to study, right? So this is what I do. Now for me, I barely buy books from the bookshop. On Facebook Market, textbooks are cheap. These are like already used textbooks, and textbooks are cheap on there, so you can check it out when you come. So you don't have to struggle with paying so much money for textbook. Any textbook you can think of is on Facebook Market. The next thing international students struggle with is finding an accommodation. You land here, you are trying to get your SIM card, you are trying to get this, you're trying to open an account, you're trying to do this, you're trying to do that. Also, you're also trying to get an accommodation. Maybe when you landed, you were staying in an Airbnb initially, and now you want your own accommodation. It can be very, very tasking. And it can also be very tasking to get a very good roommate. It can be very difficult. Ask around. How I got my own accommodation was by me asking my classmates, oh, I'm looking for an accommodation. She told me, oh, she's going to help me. She started sending me like, contacts, like all the people renting houses and all that. And she even gave me her landlord's number, and I called the landlord. The landlord said that they had a room available for me. In short, my friend already told me that they have a room available on the floor she lives. So when I came, I met the building manager. The building manager showed me the room. I liked it and I rented it. It's a 1-bedroom apartment, and this is where I live. I opened my mouth and I asked someone if I could get an accommodation, and I got my accommodation without even struggling so much. So one way you can get an accommodation is by asking. Nobody will know that you need an accommodation until you ask. Nobody is gonna know whether you need a roommate or not until you open your mouth and ask. Always ask, and you get what you want. Even the Bible said it. If you would like me to film a video on how to get an accommodation, please let me know. I'm going to do that. Apart from me not like really struggling with getting an accommodation, I actually know like very good ways you can get an accommodation, and also how you can get a roommate before you land in Canada, and also while you're in Canada. If you're interested in this particular content, just let me know. The next thing international students struggle with is English. Yeah, English. Yes, especially if English is not your second language. If English is not your lingua franca, it's going to be very tough for you to communicate. It's going to be very tough for you to hear what people are saying, hear what they are saying, because some of them really speak really fast, especially our lecturers. Even me that know English very well, when I came, like my very first class, my brain was racing like this, like I was trying to understand what she was saying until I started like getting more relaxed. If English is a second language, please do not be shy to ask them to repeat. When they say something, always ask them to repeat. There is no shame in that. The most important thing is, what is communication? Communication is when a message is sent from a sender to a receiver. Now, right? So if the receiver does not receive the message, communication has not happened. You are the receiver. If the sender of the message is not audible, or is not you cannot really hear what they are saying, always call them back. Always tell them to repeat what they said, and they are going to do that. So don't be shy. There is no shame in that. Even me, I tell them to repeat, because you cannot tell me something, I'll be like, yeah, without me even hearing what you're saying. Do you understand? That would be so stupid. Another thing international students struggle with, I've kind of touched on it before, is doing research. Honestly, doing research is not my favorite thing. I don't really like doing research, honestly, because it takes so much time, though the marks are usually higher compared to like some other assignments. Doing research work is one of the things international students struggle with, because the instructors expect you to go above and beyond, and you cannot mess up in your research. You cannot plagiarize. I've already mentioned that. You need to do your research with your whole heart, like do it like your whole life depends on it. And funny enough, it's also a very big struggle for domestic students, like for Canadian students, because you're wondering, these people, they know English, and they also complain so much about English, like the course English language, because we do English in school, in our first year in nursing school. They also complain about English, and they complain so much about research. I think it's not, this particular point is not just for international students. I think it goes across board. I think everybody really struggle with research. So just come, if you have any question about your research paper, always make sure to ask your instructor, and they're always willing to clarify. No, these guys are so polite. There is no question that is dumb. Ask your instructor, your lecturer, and they're going to explain it to you. Okay, don't be shy at all. The next thing international students struggle with is networking. Honestly, I keep saying this, a closed mouth is a closed destiny. Nobody is really going to know what you're going through. Nobody is really going to know whether you need a job, or whether you need this, or whether you need that, without you opening your mouth. Try and talk to your classmates. Go out. If you guys don't already know, my side hustle here is making hair, and honestly, how will I get customers if I don't open my mouth and talk to people? Whenever I go to Walmart, whenever I go to any store, whenever I sight a black person, I always walk up to them to introduce myself. I walk up to them, introduce myself. This is my name. This is what I do. This is where I live. Here is my card. Here is my phone number. If you need this particular service, please do not hesitate to reach out to me, and I really appreciate it. I'm also a student here in Canada. Open your mouth and talk. Anything you do, talk about it. Talk to people. As long as you're not a thief, always talk about it, because you don't know who your next client is. You don't know who your customer is. If you close your mouth, nobody's going to know what you do. So open your mouth and do what? Always talk. So networking is a thing here. Honestly, networking is a thing here. I remember when I was looking for a job, and my instructor told me, sure, before I started looking for a job, my instructor told me that, oh, if you ever need a referee for your job, maybe if you're looking for a job, you ever need reference, please come to me and I'm going to give you reference. If I wasn't talking to my instructor, there is no way she would know that I was ever going to look for a job. Do you people understand? A closed mouth is a closed destiny. Open your mouth, talk to people, network with people. You don't know who is going to help you. You don't know where your help is going to come from. Okay? The next thing on my list that international students struggle with is the cold. I think everybody is more like the first shock. I remember when I landed in Calgary and it was like 12 degrees. The cold that met me when I stepped out of the plane, the air hostess started laughing at me. Yes, and it was just 12 degrees. Now, if it's 12 degrees, I'm like, okay, what is going on? I can even go out like this, like without this shirt on, and I'm good. Okay, so this is something that if you're coming from a tropical country, you're coming from a place where snow does not fall, coming here is going to be like one of your first shocks. That's why I always encourage people to come with a good winter jacket when they are coming, and also when you get here, buy a sound winter jacket when you get here. Come with your boots. Always cover yourself so you don't get sick. This is very, very important, because it's very easy to get sick. Don't say, okay, I'm used to cold, I'm a fish, this one, that one. This cold is no respecter of any human being. Even the citizens cover themselves very well. So cold is one thing that international students struggle with. And Canada is a place that even if it's minus 40 degrees, people still go to work. That was one of the things that shocked me. Unless there is like a serious storm and there's a general announcement, oh, nobody should come out of their house, or this, that. If there is no announcement like that, life goes on. So make sure you come with a winter jacket, and don't be scared. It's just winter. You're going to be over it in a short time. Cover yourself up and you're going to be fine. So guys, I've come to the end of this video. If you enjoyed this video, which I know you did, please do give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Like I said in the beginning of this video, subscribing is totally free. You know, Shebi, you know you don't have to pay to subscribe. It is free. Just click the subscribe button. Thank you guys for the love I've been receiving in my other videos. I really appreciate it. Even the videos I filmed like 6 months ago, you people are still dropping comments on there, and I try as much as possible to respond and also reply you people's DM. I'm sorry if I don't get to your DMs really early, because now I'm very busy. I'm filming this video now. I'm going to work in an hour, and in an hour and a half I'm going to work very soon, and I still haven't eaten, so it's very busy for me. So if I don't get to your DM really quick, just know that this girl is either trying to, maybe she's at work, or she's in school, or she's doing something. I'm going to catch you guys in my next video. Keep being awesome, take care of yourselves, and I'm going to see you guys later. Bye bye.